Hi there, guys. This is Steve with G8 Designs, and I've got something really cool to show you. What we're going to look at today is the new prototype for the latest enhancement for G8 Designs Dash Kit customers. This is the Dual Control Knob Retrofit Kit that we're going to be introducing a little later this year, and I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Now, this, of course, is just a prototype, but it is very close to what we're going to be introducing. We still have some programming and some other testing and things that we have to do before we can introduce this to the market. But a little bit later this year, this is going to be coming out for G8 Designs Dash Kit customers. This will update all existing G8 Design kits with dual multifunction control knobs that control your airflow, your temperature, and other cool functions. So as you see here, you have physical control knobs for your airflow. Turn it all the way, and you'll notice that the compressor goes off and you have zero airflow. And then, of course, you still have your dual climate control. The passenger still can make adjustments on their side independently, of course. And then sync synchronizes the two sides back together. Click this knob and you have control over your airflow, top and bottom, defrost, airflow at the top. Click it again, and you still have your independent control for the passenger side. Sync synchronizes the two sides. This is your auto button for auto climate control. That is generally what most people do because you don't really have to fool around with this thing a whole lot. You can just put it on auto and let the climate control handle everything. And then all you got to do is just set your temperature to what you want, and it'll keep the car where you want it. This, of course, is your recirculate button. This, of course, is your rear defroster. And then we can go into the menu functions. So now this new setup has RGB control for your backlighting. So you can drag your slider and set your backlight color to anything you like. Since most of the colors in the G8 are red, I just generally leave it over here on red. This is your brightness slider. This allows you to select a dim setting for nighttime, and then of course you want it jacked up all the way in the daytime. And then you have your startup screen, so you have different logos that you can set. Your Holden logo, your Pontiac logo, your car silhouette logo, and also this other cool logo that we've added. Then we have another icon here. All this does is offsets for the clock. So if you have OnStar still plugged up in your car, even if you're not subscribing to OnStar, with this setup, you will also see the time right here at the top of the DIC, along with the outside temperature. Now, I don't have OnStar box in here at the moment, so you're not going to see the time, but if you do have the time, this UTC offset makes sure that you can slide this and adjust it so that the time appears correct. And then this is just a little diagnostic thing. That's some information that FOLSIC might need if you ever get into a technical support situation. They may have you go into that. Now, there's going to be another really cool feature that I want to tell you guys about. A lot of guys like to put gauges in their car. It's a very popular thing to mount a bunch of gauges in this stack up here, or put Atari gauges so that you can read your engine readings and things like that. You don't have to do that anymore, because there's going to be another function. There'll be an icon right here for your engine gauge readings. This will read out all of your engine functions, your oil pressure, your oil temperature, your coolant temperature. Anything that can be read through the car's network will be readable here. Now, you don't have to go into this menu through all of that just to get to that screen. You will be able to long press this button right here. Just hold that button down and it will instantly pop you into the engine gauge screen, and you'll be able to go through and see all of your engine gauge readings with bar graphs and digits right here. So we don't have that in there right now, but that will be in here when we introduce it. And that's going to be a tremendous thing for a lot of people. A lot of guys like to maybe mount a gauge down here underneath, or take the dash apart and wire in a whole bunch of gauges at the top. You don't have to do that anymore with this new setup. Now, the next thing you'll notice about this new setup is we have a hazard button up here at the top, which is the same place you'd find it on the old factory radio. The difference here is our hazard button is capacitive touch, where it won't jam or break or any of the other stuff you have with the old stock stereo. So to activate the hazard, you simply touch it. It senses your touch and lights up. Now, what you're looking at here is a prototype. This is just a hazard button sticker that we have up here. In production, this will actually be one of those molded gel type buttons up here, so it won't be flat like this little sticker. It'll also be translucent, so the red from the flashing LEDs is going to glow and light up the whole button, where this is just a prototype just for demonstration purposes. But the other cool thing about these hazards is they will also have a hard wire to the battery, so it will even function when the key is out, when the car is off. You'll be able to activate the hazards exactly the way you do on the factory radio. So it will actually function in every way exactly like your factory hazard button does. You just touch it and it goes off. Folsic now has an app that will do the updating for this when a customer installs this. So it does not have to be shipped off to Utah to Folsic to get the unit installed and configured and everything. There will be, or there actually is, an app that you can use on any desktop PC or laptop, really any Windows device. He may eventually add smartphone connection for it as well, but you'll be able to plug up with a USB cable to the controller and update to the new graphics. He'll be able to handle bug fixes or tweaks to the programming, those types of things. Now, there's another cool thing for the few cars in the US that have the base model radio, that have just the single zone. In other words, it doesn't have a screen, it's just all knobs and buttons and everything. For cars that have that type of setup, this new implementation will be able to provide them with actual real climate control functionality. For those cars, there will be a temperature probe that will plug right into the circuit board that will be routed to a designated place on the car, so it can read the inside temperature, the outside temperature, and it will, for the first time, give those cars climate control functionality. Now, on the base model cars, it will not be dual zone independent climate control, because those cars don't have the hardware required for that. But it will be, an actual climate control temperature reading type of system. So we're all really excited about this. We are working on getting this put together. We still have some programming. We're probably going to do some beta testing. So we may call on some of our friends and our customers to do some beta testing for us on this when we get to that point. But right now, this is something that's in development, but it's coming out a little later this year. I do not have a target date. We're going to crank it out as quickly as we possibly can, given all the demands that we have on us. And we do not have a target price yet because this is still in prototype stages. We don't have all of our components nailed down. Once we have our components nailed down, we'll be able to introduce the product and give you guys the pricing. We're going to try to make the pricing as reasonable as we possibly can, given that everything that G8 Designs makes is very limited production. It's all American made. It's all American supported. And we're not sending our money over to China because we know what we've gotten from China for the past couple of years. So when you support G8 Designs, you are supporting American businesses and suppliers that manufacture all of our components and keeping food on American tables and money in American pockets. And we think that's pretty darn important. So stay tuned to our Facebook page for all the latest news on this as it develops. And also, I hope you guys will go and check out the G8 Designs website. It's g8designs.com. And look at all the other cool stuff that we have for your G8, some of which you can order directly from the site. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through our Facebook page. Just click on the send message button on the G8 Designs Facebook page, and we can chat with you live, answer your questions. We can give you product recommendations. We can give you all the latest news or any other assistance that you need. We look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for checking this out.